Welcome to Yin Friday. So good to be here with you all. I really look forward to this day always. So let's go ahead and start with a side bend. And for this side bend, I usually like to use a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, just grab a bunch of pillows. We're going to start everybody on your left side. And you might want to have another pillow or several blankets for your head as well. So basically, you're going to come on your left side body, bend your knees, and bring the bolster all the way up to your hips. And then you want to kind of stretch out that left side and then drape it all the way over to on your structure. And so what I like to do is usually use something as a pillow. You can use your bicep, but it might be a little bit too much. So I like to put that under my head and then just close your eyes for a moment. You can take the right arm up and then drape it over the shoulder or the head, just stretching out that entire right side. And close your eyes here for a moment. Get nice and cozy and comfortable. Breathe into that right side. So there's these muscles in between all the ribs. They're called intercostal muscles. And those muscles are one of the primary respiratory muscles. So the more flexible they are and the more you can stretch them out, and also the more pliable they are, they actually move your rib cage in and out, and that allows for more air to come into your lungs. So we really want to focus on breathing, even though you can't obviously isolate a lung, but really breathe into that left side body. Send your breath to your right lung, maybe the armpit, maybe all the way down to your right hip. And then as you exhale, let that left rib cage melt down on your structure. Again, close your eyes and just tune in. If you've done Yin Yoga with me before, you know that a lot of times we just want to get quiet. It's a very introspective practice. So if you don't hear me talk from time to time, I haven't forgotten about you. I know you're still here with me, but I just want to allow you the quietness, that stillness, to be able to just sink into your own body. Every time you find your mind wandering, just take your awareness back to your breath. There's no judgment, there's no attachment or rejecting anything. Even if crazy thoughts come to your mind, welcome them. Just allow them to pass through. And if this feels good, please stay here. If you like to, you can take that top knee, the right knee, behind the left heel. And that just gets the stretch a little bit deeper. But if you feel too much of it in your lumbar spine and your low back up. Bring the knees together. Whatever is comfortable for you. Again, close your eyes. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes. So as you close your eyes here, just really focus on your breath. Send your breath all the way to that right side body. Feel your right side body expand. Breathe into it. So as usual, I'm going to mind the time for you. Now as you're ready, we're going to switch sides. So please roll over to the other side. Very good. So roll over to the other side, whichever side you didn't do this time, just roll over to that side. And again, just get really, really nice and comfortable. I'm going to turn around this way so you can see me better. So I'm on my right side. The structure comes all the way to my right hip. And I always want to make sure my neck is comfortable here. So I'm going to take my blanket, and then as I fold onto that right side body, initially I'm just going to have my knees stack. I'm going to rest my head on top of this blanket, and I'm going to close my eyes. And then if it feels good on that left shoulder, you can lift the left arm up. Breathe into the left side, open up into that intercostal muscles. Just close your eyes here. Be very, very still as you can. See if there's a tendency to fidget. Sometimes, a lot of times, we need these moments of stillness to tap into our own creative side, to tap into our essence, our inner wisdom. So really make this your time for yourself. And in fact, what you're doing right now is such a rarity. There are billions of people around the world that know about this and don't do it, or don't even know about this beautiful practice, or even just coming into stillness. Or maybe they don't have the opportunity. So as you stay here, just recognize the fact that you showed up on your mat. What a beautiful big step. If you like to, you can take that left knee behind the right heel. That just intensifies the stretch a little bit. But if you feel like that gets a little bit too much into your lumbar spine, just stack the knees on top of one another. And again, as you close your eyes, let yourself feel all the sensations that come up. Even if some of these sensations are a little uncomfortable, see if you can stay with it. The only thing we don't tolerate is pain. So if something, especially a pain in a joint, so if something is not feeling right in your joints, you can always move and fix that, obviously, but see if you can just come into stillness and pause and breathe. And then gently begin to stack your knees on top of one another again. And slowly begin to press yourself up, nice and slowly, so there's no rush. There's no rushing in yin practice. And then put your blanket to the side if you're using one, or pillows to the side. And then we're gonna come all the way up to a comfortable seat. We're gonna create a little structure for ourselves. So what I like to do is take, if you have a block, put the block on its highest setting, and you're going to take your bolster and put it on top of your block. Excuse me. And then you're going to come into what's called Supta Baddha Konasana, or supine butterfly pose. So you want to sit as close as you can to your bolster, and then just lay down all the way, let the palms be open. If you don't have a block, but you have a bolster, you can do the same thing without the block. So just have the bolster underneath. You can even pile up blankets on top for like a pillow for your head, just like this. You sit next to your bolster, come all the way down, and then this way your head is slightly above your torso. Okay, so maybe put some blankets or pillows. What this does is it allows, it allows the back of your neck to get long, so that your chin is not lifted up towards the ceiling. If you don't have a bolster, you can always do the same thing with just piling up nice thick blankets, or even nice thick firm pillows. That would really work well too. Or if you don't have any of these, then another option would be taking one blanket and then make it into a long rectangle like this. You put that there, and then you take a block or a pillow, put it on top. So again, the back of your neck is long. Whatever, any one of those options, whatever works best for you, find your comfortable position. We're gonna hold this one for a long time. So get super comfortable. In fact, we're gonna probably stay here for about 3 or 4 minutes. So once you find your position, once you have your structure, close your eyes, let the palms be open. Let your knees open up to the sides. Also, if you happen to have extra blankets or blocks, you can always put them under the outside of your knees. This is really nice in case you have really tight inner thighs as well. You can reduce some of the tension you may be feeling in the inner thighs. But the clock is ticking, so just close your eyes, breathe into your belly. Exhale out through an open mouth. And again, this is what I want you to, what I'm gonna invite you to focus on. So as you breathe deeply here, energetically what happens, actually physically what happens is you have the diaphragm sitting underneath the lungs. It's kind of sitting in a diagonal with the right side a little bit higher because the liver is there, and the left side is a little bit lower. And it's right underneath your ribs. So you can't really touch it from your skin, from the top. It's not very superficial. But what happens is as you breathe in, you essentially are pressing the diaphragm down. So it's this dome tissue muscle, and you're pressing the diaphragm down, and that pressure of diaphragm on your belly allows the belly to expand, right? And then as you exhale, the diaphragm lifts up, and the belly then softens, the navel moves towards the spine. Okay, so really this diaphragm is a very important part of your respiration. I'd like you to visualize. The reason I'm going into the in-depth discussion or biology lesson is because I want you to, or physiology lesson, I'd like you to really visualize that diaphragm. Breathe, see the diaphragm pressing down so that the belly lifts up. Exhale, notice the belly falls and the diaphragm presses up and empties the lungs. Okay, so continue on. Inhale, exhale. As the diaphragm presses on the lungs, all the air comes out, or not 100% all the air, but most of the air comes out of the lungs. So continue on, please. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Feel the belly expand. Exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Full breath. Inhale. Visualize that dome structure, the muscle underneath, pressing down. Your belly lifts. Exhale. The dome moves back to its original position, even a little bit more, and press it all the air out of the lungs. And then as you're ready, gently begin to put your feet flat on your mat. Bring the knees up and roll over to one side. Pause here for a moment. And then gently press yourself up. So you come into a comfortable seat again. Put everything to the side once again, moving all this stuff out of your mat, away from your mat. And then we're going to move a little bit. So come up to tabletop pose, please. Inhale, lift the chest. Send the right leg back behind you. Exhale, bring the right knee to your chest. Excuse me, as you round the back. 2 more times. Inhale. Send that right leg back as you lift the chest. Exhale, right knee comes to your chest, round the back. And once again, inhale. Send the right leg back. Pause here for a moment. Bend the right knee. And then take that right knee out to the right. And you're going to do big circles with that right hip. So the femur bone, the thigh bone is moving all the way around the hip socket in a big circle. And then reverse that, go in the opposite direction. And then place the right knee down. Inhale, lift the chest as you extend the left leg back. Exhale, bend the left knee, bring it to your chest. 2 more times. Inhale, press the left leg back, lift the chest. Exhale, left knee comes to your chest. And once again, inhale, press that left knee back, pause. Bend the left knee, take the knee out to the side, and then begin your circles on this side. That thigh bone moving in a big circle in the hip socket. And then reverse it. Very nice. And then drop that left knee down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, come into a neutral spine. Now we're going to take the left arm out to the left and then thread the left arm under your body. And then here, we're going to make it a little bit supported. So take a block or a pillow and put it under your head. So my left temple is resting on top of my block. And then my left arm is under my body. Now here, I'm gonna invite you to notice if you're leaning too much over to the left or the right, can you still have equilibrium between the knees? So having both the same weight, equal weight on both knees. This allows you to make the twist happen in your upper back, in your thoracic spine. And that's what I want to focus on. I don't really mind right now what's going on with the low back. So really just focusing on the upper back. Your right arm can reach above your head, or you can take the right hand, put it on your sacrum. And then we're going to stay here for 1 minute, so close your eyes. If the block under your head bothers you and you can go all the way down to the floor, feel free to bring the side of your head on the floor. But make sure your head is not just hanging here. So make sure that your head is supported by something, either a block, a pillow, or your mat. And then again, just breathe. Breathe into that space behind the heart, between the shoulder blades. Imagine the hand of someone you love is resting on that space behind the heart, and you breathe into their hand. And then nice and slowly, we're just going to come back to the center. Reach the right arm out to the right. Inhale. And as you exhale, thread the right arm under your body, bring the right side of your ear down. Again, make sure your head is resting on something. So if your head doesn't comfortably come all the way to the floor, you can put a block or a pillow under your head or a bunch of blankets. And then once you get there, make sure that you're not leaning too much over to the right or the left, that you're equally distributing the weight between the knees. And your left fingertips can reach above your head, or you can put the left hand on your sacrum and then close your eyes. 1 minute here. Take your awareness to that space behind the heart, in between your shoulder blades. And really breathe into that space. One more breath in, and then nice and slowly begin to come on all the way up. Bring your knees together, your toes together, and sit on your heels, please. For the next pose, we're going to set up here with a block, and once again, either your bolster or bunch of blankets. You want to come into a supported child. So have your knees this time touching each other. The bolster or blankets or blocks are going to be right in front of you. And then initially just come down on your elbows. So we're sitting with the knees together, with the inner edges of your feet together. And if you don't have a bolster, then just come down on your hands and drop the head forward. And if you don't have a bolster, you can just bring your forehead on top of a block or a bunch of pillows. So supported, a little bit more active child's pose. Essentially, if the knees are separated, it's a little bit easier on the hips, but I'm going to ask you to keep the knees together. So either on the bolster or forehead on top of block or pillows. And then close your eyes again. As you close your eyes here, your intention is kind of creating a little bit of a pressure, a little bit of a compression in the hips. Obviously, you are creating compression in the knees and stretching out the top of your feet and your ankles. But I'm going to invite you to focus more on bringing your thighs close or bringing your rib cage as close as you can to your thighs. So essentially, you want your thighs and rib cage to be glued to each other. Your rib cage is resting on top of your thighs, and that pressure is a wonderful thing for your digestive system. As you stay here, you may begin to feel a little bit more opening in the low back. Notice all those connective tissues in by the lumbar spine, stretching out, the tailbone lengthening towards your heels. And then gently begin to press yourself up. Put everything to the side. Once again, we're going to move again. So make sure you don't have anything on your mat. Come to tabletop pose. Tuck your toes under. Lift the hips up into your downward facing dog. And then just kind of pedal your feet side to side. We want to stretch out the back side of your knees. We just got a really nice compression in that area. So as you stretch it out, you're going to send fresh fluids and blood into that space.
And we know that every time you have fresh blood rushing into any body parts, you're actually creating a healing environment in those areas. Slowly begin to walk your feet all the way to your hands, please. Keep the knees bent. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale and fold forward. Drop the head down. And then shake the head side to side. Maybe nod yes and no. Just let the head get really super heavy. Shake it side to side. And then gently have a seat, please. So come back down on your nice comfortable seat. Extend the left leg forward. And then take the right foot to the outside of that left knee. See that the bottom of that right foot is all flat on the floor, and that your hips are also, both hips are on the floor. Interlace your fingers around the right shin and initially just lift the chest. Stay here for a moment. Take a nice deep breath here. Exhale. And then begin to twist your torso over to the right. Your left arm can hug the right knee. Take your right hand either next to your body or on a block next to you, whichever one is appropriate for you. And then we're going to stay here for 1 minute. So notice if you're leaning back or forward or side to side. I'd like you to really pay attention to the sits bones here. Can both sits bones be staying on the floor? If you're leaning over to one side and you feel like that right sits bone is off the ground, just gently guide that right hip down so both sits bones are down on the floor. And then the spine is long. So you're not rounding the back and you're not just hanging out here. Spine is nice and tall. And then if you like to, you can turn your head over to the right, taking the gaze over to the right shoulder. Make sure the shoulders are soft. Make sure the jaws are soft. And then just make sure that you don't sink down. The tendency when we're sitting is the natural tendency for everyone, not just you in particular, that after a little while we're just gonna sink down. So just remind yourself to sit up. One more deep breath here. Exhale. And then gently unwind and take that right knee all the way over to the top of the left knee. Now for this one, I'm going to suggest that you take a block and put it on top of the right knee. Inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, fold forward. So bringing your forehead on top of your block or pillows, and then just letting the back side of the left body just open up one moment at a time, one little bit at a time. Close your eyes again, drop in. Now you've been here for about a minute, so if you like to go a little bit deeper, maybe you can bring your block or pillow to the left shin and see if you can go a little bit deeper. But please don't force anything. We're just going in one phase at a time. Send your breath all the way down to your tailbone. very gently begin to lift the torso up.
Put the block to the side, please. Lean, straighten the right leg, lean your torso back. You can stay on your hands or come down on your elbows and just kind of wag your feet side to side, shake it out like you're sitting on a beautiful beach looking at the ocean. Maybe some of you are sitting on a beach looking at the ocean. I don't know if you are. Please, we all want to live vicariously through you. And then as you're ready, press yourself all the way up. Now this time, you're going to take the left foot, put it on the outside of the right knee. Again, make sure both sits bones are grounded. So if you tend to have a hip that is a little bit tighter than the other, it may lift up the ground. So really ground down that hip first. Then you can take your block to the left. Your right arm can hug that left knee, and you're coming into a little twist. And then once you find your twist, make sure the shoulders are not coming up to the ears, that they're just soft and they're looking over the left shoulder. And again, check in, see if you're rounding the back or leaning forward or leaning to the side. Just visualize, mentally see your spine, and it's long and tall, and I'm gonna stay here for a couple minutes. So as you stay here, notice if the tendency is to just kind of round the back. Once you notice that, straighten the back a little bit more. Nice deep breath here. Unwind your spine. So turn your torso to the front of your mat again, and then stack the left knee on top of the right knee. So initially just sit tall. You can take your block and put it on top of your knee to bring your forehead down. And then just close your eyes. If you like to, you can put your block on top of your shin now, if you want to go a little bit deeper. But again, really just wait for your body to signal to you that it's ready to go deeper. And even if you decided to go a little bit deeper and feel like, oh, this doesn't serve me right now, feel free to come back. As you breathe, nice and deep breaths in, send your breath all the way to the right side, the QL muscle on the right side. And then with each exhalation, feel yourself getting a little bit more relaxed, maybe 1% more relaxed.
really slow, like slow motion. Go ahead and lift your torso all the way up and put the block to the side, please. Extend both legs out once again. Either stay on your hands or come down on your elbows and just kind of wag your feet side to side. Bend both knees, put the feet flat on the floor, lie down all the way on your back, bring the knees to your chest. And then we're gonna do little circles here with the knees together. So keep the knees together, the feet together, and you're just gonna circle your hips all the way in and to the right and away and to the left and in. Nice big circle. Imagine you have one leg glued to each other, or two legs are glued to each other to form one leg. So keep the knees together as you take the legs in a circle together, and then reverse it, going all the way around into the other side. And then come back to the center, take that right ankle on top of the left knee. So instead of the figure 4, we're gonna stay here and do the circles again, going to the left and away and to the right. You can make the circle as big as you want to, so go as far as it feels good. If you want to, you can even extend that left leg a little bit longer on your hovering off the mat. Make the movement come from your lumbar spine, so all the way around. We really did a full body yin today with the upper back, mid back, low back, hips, hamstrings, back of the neck. So your entire body got some love, tender loving care today. And then switch sides, left ankle on top of the right knee, and take it all the way around, all the way around. You can go as big of a circle as you want to. And then halfway through, if you want to reverse the circle, you can. Do however organically comes to you, whatever organically your body wants. Give it the love it needs right now. And then coming back to the center, bring both knees to your chest once again. Hands on top of the kneecaps, extend the legs up. Inhale and exhale, bend the knees. Rotate the ankles one direction and rotate them the opposite direction. And 2 more times. Inhale, legs straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend the knees and rotate the ankles and reverse it. And once again, inhale, extend the legs up, and exhale, bend the knees and rotate the ankles and reverse it. And then one final thing, we're just going to do a twist. So drop your knees over to the left, stay here, right arm reaches up. You can turn your gaze to the right if you want a cervical spine twist. And then come back to the center and drop your knees over to the right. Left arm reaches above your head. Turn your gaze over to the left. And then coming all the way back up to the center again. Extend your legs straight out on your mat, please. Pause here for a moment. Shake the legs out. Shake the arms out. Shake out your entire body. Shake it as fast as you can. You can even raise the legs and shake it, shake it. Tremor it, tremor it. These tremors are really good for your body. It releases unnecessary tension. So shake everything out. Shake it as fast as you can. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And my dear friends, you're ready for your final pose, Shavasana. So extend the legs out, let the feet fall away from each other, the back of your head resting comfortably on the floor, palms are open, close your eyes. Notice the gravity pulling your body down. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. Feel the air, the touch of the air on your skin. Listen to the sounds. Listening, maybe you hear the sounds of traffic outside, or sound of music, or sound of your own breath. Just whatever sounds are in your environment, allow them to be there. Not pushing away anything, not getting attached to anything. And then notice the sensations in your body. Notice any tingling, any areas of energy flow. And without labeling anything, good or bad, just notice it. And then notice your breath. Not trying to change your breath, not trying to shape your breath. Just notice your breath. Deep or shallow, no labeling. Receive your inhale. Release your exhale. As you're ready, gently begin to bring your knees to your chest. Notice which nostril you're breathing out of a little bit easier. Roll over to that side. Pause for a moment. With the strength in your top arm, press yourself to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart center. I bow down to all of you for creating this time to be here to take care of yourself. What a beautiful dedication and commitment you all have. It's inspiring to me. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Thank you. Have a beautiful weekend. Hope to see you next week.